Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at SoFi stock and we're going to see if it will be a good investment to add to our portfolios. Now, if you've never heard of them before, pretty much they offer all the services that you see listed here. Some of the main ones would be banking, credit card, insurance, mortgage loans, travel, pretty much every single thing listed on here. And their call to action is SoFi's mission is to help people reach financial independence to realize their ambitions. So that's something you can sort of know and read that will give you an idea what this company is truly about. But let's take a look at its number. Let's take a look at the intrinsic value and see if this is a good investment. If you've been following the stock market and if you've been seeing what's happening with tech stocks, you can see that they have been dropping. For the past year, SoFi is up 64%, which is about $4. If you can see in this little chart here, it did have a good growth, but now year to date, currently they are down 16%, which is about $2. We take a look down here, the PE ratio is 27.24. It's not terrible for what could be considered a technology company. Their market cap is about 12 billion and their 52-week low is $6 with their 52-week high being $18. What I don't like about this company is that it doesn't pay dividends. Usually I like to invest in stocks that are going to have dividends, but it's not the case for SoFi. Now, before taking a look at the intrinsic value, let's see what analysts are saying about this stock. Out of a total of 5 rating, they have a 3.5, which that consists of 19 analysts, that being broken down into 4 strong buys, 1 buy, 9 holds, 2 sells, and 3 strong sells. Now, this isn't the intrinsic value of SoFi, but it's the price forecast that analysts have for the stock. As you can see, the average price is $13.73. We're currently very close to there. The high price of 20 and a low price of 5. Now, if we take a look at the earnings, pretty much SoFi has beat their earnings every single time. They had this huge growth in Q4 of 2024, and they're still expected to grow throughout 2025 except in Q4. However, if we take a look at the annual EPS and the annual revenue estimates, which this is something we like to look at, we want this to be increasing. As you can see, from 2025 to 2026, they're growing their EPS from 26 cents to 50 cents. And one thing to keep in mind, their forward PE is going from 45 to 23, which is great. This means you will be getting the stock at a cheaper price. Obviously, that depends on what the stock price is at this time. Now, their annual revenue estimates, as you can see here, it will go from 3.19 billion to 3.80 billion. Now, they have been increasing their total revenues year over year, which is a good thing in a company. And also their net income has been increasing, except after 2021, it did drop, but now it's picking back up again, surpassing that price of 2021. Right after this, we're going to go into the intrinsic value, but as you can see, this is my personal investing account. I do have a $10 put on SoFi. I thought it was way too expensive at the price that it was before. By selling this put, which expires on April 4th, in about 4 days this Friday, depending on when you see the video, I did get a credit of $2, which is basically nothing, but I did feel like if I was going to buy the stock and invest in the stock, it will be anywhere at the $10 mark or below that. So that's why I sold the put, just so I could get a credit in case that it does happen. However, guys, keep in mind, this is not financial advice. Now, if we take a look at the intrinsic value for SoFi, here we go. SoFi ticker symbol, their growth rate projection is currently 19.7. With all these metrics, we can see that in every Graham formula, it is a buy, except the analyst revised formula, which I've mentioned a lot in the video that I barely use just because it's way too conservative. And if we want to use this with a margin of safety, which means that you have some room to be wrong with this stock, the buy price should be about $12.18. And as we saw before, the buy price is currently $11.85. Now, they are expecting the intrinsic value to be between $21 and $18, which is not a huge growth, but I mean, it is definitely something if you just want to put your money there for it to grow. I would have loved for this company to pay dividends. It would have been great to have some growth and also some dividend payments, but I mean, this isn't completely terrible. Now let's take a look at the PE ratio in the history of the company to see if this is actually valid or maybe if the stock is a little bit overvalued at the moment. Now, keep in mind that the data we currently have and what I'm about to show you is from 2024, December 2024, and it's not currently updated to 2025, which as you can see, the PE is 27.24. But if we take a look at the previous years, right, and at the previous earnings date, we can see here, for example, when the stock was actually profitable in EPS in 2022, the PE ratio was only 6.18 and the stock price was $4. I mean, I think at this time, this was actually a no-brainer. At the time, I did invest in this stock and I sold it when it went to about $7, but disregard that. Then the EPS were negative. You can see the P ratio was barely nothing. Over here, when the PS ratio spiked again, obviously the stock was positive EPS. It went negative, and then when it hit positive again, Obviously, people in the market thought this was the boom, this was the next big thing. So you can see the stock price was at $7, EPS was 12, which was less than here. And at this time, PE ratio was 6, and over here, PE ratio was 65, which is just crazy, okay? Jump forward to that, another year in December 2024, we can see the stock price was 15, the EPS was 39, which was the same at this point, or half at least. The PE ratio again was 6, and the PE ratio still was here at 39. But now, guys, currently, as we just saw in the previous slide over here, this is not going to show now, but the PE ratio was 27. So the PE ratio keeps dropping along with the stock price, which is what it should happen. So we got to know what the EPS for SoFi is in 2025. And once we have that, we should be able to determine whether the stock is currently at a good valuation or if it's expensive. But based on the intrinsic value, this says it's a buy, not me. I'm not a financial analyst. Not sure what I'm going to do if I do get assigned the put or not. So let's wait and see what happens this week. I think stocks are still going to drop. I just keep buying more and more. So let's see what. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the next video.